Today we'll be making a Kydex sheath for this knife that I just finished up. A few things that you need to get started is, of course, you need some Kydex, okay? And I do want to say, when you're looking on Amazon or whatever, and you're trying to buy some Kydex, make sure it's Kydex and not this like ABS cheap plastic stuff. It says it's able to, you know, do knife sheaths and stuff, but it's junk. It's brittle and it just breaks under stress. Know what you're buying before you buy it. I'll have links in the description with all the stuff that I'm using today. But make sure you have some good Kydex. Alright, so there's a few ways. Okay, so there's two ways we can really do this. We can do like a pancake style, where we layer Kydex over and then we put another sheet over top and then we press the two sheets together. Or we could do a taco style where the Kydex wraps around the knife, and I much prefer the taco style because it's just simpler. You know, you're not worrying about two different pieces of Kydex and getting them all squared up. This is a much foolproof way to do it. Okay, so the first step is we need to measure out our Kydex. And what we need to do is we need to make sure we have enough room for our little push piece on the knife so we can actually slide the sheath off. So I want to make sure I'll put it right there at the bolster so we have enough to fold over in the future. Actually, I'm going to fold this the other way. So we're going to be drawing and sketching on the shiny side, because the shiny side is what I want inside of the sheath, so the blade has something smooth to work against. So we're going to mark our distance, and I want it somewhere around there, and we need like 3/4 of an inch space right here for the sheath, so we'll mark it like right there. Okay. Now, if we set the blade on it, we need enough space here so we can shape it and have our rivets and stuff. So I like to keep it about right there, which is probably an inch almost. And then we want to just curl the blade over, trying not to move it too much. And then we want to leave like an inch on this side too. Now we can just kind of connect these dots with these lines here. Now we'll head over to the bandsaw and cut this out. Okay, so once you cut it, you need to make sure that you don't have a blue film on the smooth side. Now this Kydex doesn't have it, but on the ABS stuff, and I know some other Kydex companies do it, but they put a protective blue film over the shiny side, and if you don't take it off, it will absolutely ruin your knife. That stuff will like melt to your blade, and it is an absolute pain to get off. I'm speaking from experience because I've done that before. So just double check, scratch it, take a knife or something, and just double check there's no blue film on that. Alright, so before we can actually press our sheath, you need to have this thing. And this is a thermofoam pad, and we use this to squish it. I'll have links to this in the description. But what we need to do is get a vise, and I just cut some 3/4 inch plywood, and I just wedge that in between, and I'll grab something like paper towel or a piece of sandpaper or something, and it holds it out like that, so it has a little bit of some spring tension. And then whenever we bring our knife in, it gives us a little of a head start, so we don't have to, you know, fool around with it too much. It's already kind of there, and then we just, you know, clamp it up as fast as we can. So That's a little trick that I've learned, is just squeezing a little bit of paper towel or something in there. An easily forgotten step is we need to layer some tape over our blade. This gives it protection. Then it also gives a little bit of tolerance. So once we press the sheath, take out the tape, it'll have a little bit of wiggle room. And that's really nice for a nice and smooth experience using it. So we'll do like 4 layers of tape on all sides. We need to start preheating our oven. So we're gonna set it to 310 degrees and set it to bake. We'll let that preheat, and then we'll put our Kydex in there. If you just go ahead and put your Kydex in now, the heating element will be too hot, and you'll just completely ruin your Kydex. It'll shrivel up in a little ball. No fun. Alright, so now we need to get our workspace ready to press this knife. So I already got my press already kind of set up. You know, I got my little spacer in there. The vise is ready to be clamped down. You don't want the vise to be too loose, and because then the Kydex will just fall over. But you need your oven right beside it, where you can just pull it, take it off, and press it. You gotta be real quick with this stuff because it cools down so quickly, and then you won't be getting a good press. All right, so I'm gonna do shiny side up, because it's gonna be folded like this, and we just want to reach in. That side's up, set the knife on top, and fold it. So shiny side up. Alright, so it's been in the oven for like a couple minutes. I'm just going to pull it out and check it. Alright, so this is what you want. You want it nice and flimsy. This should not be stiff at all. Very flimsy. So we're going to put this back in the oven and give it another minute, and we should be ready to go. So if you pull this out and do anything with it and you don't press it, make sure you put it back in the oven and get it back up to temperature. Because it cools down so fast. Alright, press this down as quickly as possible. Get that really good clamp down. There we go. So you want to clamp this down as much as you can. You can even hear the plywood popping and cracking. You want to get it very good and tight. Alright, so we'll give this like 5 minutes to sit, and then we'll pop it back out. Alright, it's been about 7 minutes now. Should be cooled off. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, that's a beautiful press right there. What I like seeing is that this right here is all level with each other, and it's not jerking one way or the other. That's a really nice press. I'm very happy with that. The only worry is right there is a little narrow. You can see that in the camera. Right there is just a little narrow, so we're gonna have a fun time putting a rivet in there. But now you gotta watch. I split my thumb open right here, all the way across, doing this right here. So just be very careful. Actually, let me get some kind of a tool to pry that open. Yeah, I don't want to slip my thumb again. Only want to learn that lesson once. Anyway. Pull that out. What we're going to do is take it back on the bandsaw. We're going to rough trim that. So now we just need to make sure we get the inside of it cleaned off. Get all that dust out of there. Make sure it can sit flush with each other. There's no gaps running around. That looks pretty good. So, I know some people probably will do it differently than me, but I like to do the rivets next and then shape it a little bit so I have as much room. Alright, so this is going to be different for every knife, but I bought these like little clips off of Amazon. They're like $5 or something. I really like them, pretty sturdy. But this is, hold up, I gotta think here. Alright, so this is the part you kind of have to decide if you're left-handed or right-handed. And so I'm right-handed, and I will carry this on my right side. I will carry this on my right side here. So I want the clip to be like this, so I can hook it to my belt. So I want this as belt clip as close as I can to the handle, because I don't want a high riding knife. I want it to be the handle as closest to the belt, but I don't want to go too high up. Then when you go to grab it, this belt thing is going to be in your way, and then you have to like do this finicky thing like that. So it also has to be dropped down. So you kind of have to find your sweet spot. And from the looks of it, I like that right there, which is pretty high, but I like that. Oh, when you're purchasing a little clip, or if you're making one, make sure it has like a little step there, because your knife has a profile, and especially with a bolster like that, but it has to be able to fit over that. Like, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but you need to have some kind of gap there. Alright, so now we just need to mark our holes, and for this I'm just going to use a basic center punch. And there's a lot better things you can use, but that's what I have in the shop at the moment. That marks it out pretty well. Alright, those are the two most important holes, because these are the two that's actually going to have to match up with something. So all the other ones I can kind of just eyeball that to whatever looks good. So for my rivets, I use, let's see here, I use these, I think these are quarter inch rivets. I buy very high quality rivets because I've bought my cheap ones in the past and they tear, they don't fold correctly, and they're just trash. So I buy these off of Amazon. They've been pretty good. I just realized the camera was not recording, but anyway, we got those two holes drilled. Let me just kind of repeat what I said. But I have a little piece of wood here, and I set it on there like that. So, you know, if you set it flat, you would have an angle. If you keep it like that, it's nice and level with the drill press. Now, you can use a handheld drill by all means, but this is what I have, and it's convenient to me. But okay, now we need to set our rivets, and I like to have the nice side of the rivets, which is the swelled out side, on the side that's going to be showing when you're carrying it. So if you're right-handed, your waist will be right here, and this will be exposed, the outside. So I'm going to push all the rivets in with the nice side out. Alright, so this is a rivet setter. You have one side where you have the bottom piece, and then you have the top side that just has a little hole drilled into it, and that squishes out the rivet. So get you a nice sturdy anvil, something you can beat on, and you want to put the swelled up side down on that little piece, and then set your little rivet header on there and give very light taps. And what I'm going to do is I want to keep tap, 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 and go around. And so I want to make sure I spread those rivets out before we start heavy pounding. So just tap, tap, tap all the way around. And check and make sure it's going the way we want to, and it is. There we go. That's rivet 1 set. Now we'll do the rest. Just remember, light taps and go around. Alright, so now we got the rivets pressed in, and we're going to go take it to the sander and clean that up. Alright, so now you can remove the tape from your knife and then test fit it and see how it goes. Oh yeah, that's not bad at all. So now we need to take a heat gun. We're going to heat this up and then make a little finger flare. Okay, so I got a little thumb flare, but it's too soft right now. This can be pulled out way too easy. So what I need to do is heat it up a little bit more and pinch right in here behind the blade. And then that will give us the strength we need. That gave us a nice lock. Locks in there very well now. I like that. So we'll just assemble this up and... Alright guys, there you have it. Turned out very well. Works out pretty good too. Well anyway guys, thank y'all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, press the like button. If you want to see more stuff like this, press subscribe.